Hello and welcome to National Focus. I'm your presenter, Jarna Hector. Thanks for joining us. Topping the headlines, British nationals in Dominica celebrate the Queen's Diamond Jubilee, flood early warning system implemented in Bath Estate, and students taught how to better appreciate the environment as part of activities marking World Environment Day. All these stories and more when National Focus returns. Welcome back. Time now for the details of the news. Over 150 Bath Estate residents are now in a better state of readiness in the event of floods. This is as a result of training sessions and simulation exercises in a model flood early warning system. Dominica was one of 4 countries chosen as pilot states to install this system under the Caribbean Disaster Management Phase 11 project. The Office of Disaster Management, in collaboration with the Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency and the Japanese International Cooperation Agency, commenced the program in early 2009 and was completed as of June this year. This flood early warning system, which is expected to protect lives and property in the Bath Estate area, was implemented and supervised by the Office of Disaster Management through a wide cross-section of stakeholders. The Office of Disaster Management, and by extension the Government of Dominica, is confident that this warning system will be applied in other communities around the island. British nationals in Dominica were joined by local dignitaries and students in celebrating the Queen's Diamond Jubilee on Monday evening. The Queen's Diamond Jubilee marks 60 years since her accession to the throne in 1952. Royal Jubilees celebrate significant periods in a monarch's reign and national life. Representative of the British High Commission, Dan Carruthers, made a special visit to Dominica for the celebrations.
The United Kingdom is very proud of its heritage. It's part of what makes Britain the creative and vibrant country that it is today. And celebrations of the Diamond Jubilee will reflect this. But they will also reflect the UK's continued links to countries like Dominica and others throughout the world through the Commonwealth. And for this reason, the celebrations marking the Queen's 60 years as monarch will also include a very strong focus on the Commonwealth.
Education Minister Honourable Peter Seja also addressed the Jubilee celebrations here.
Here in Dominica, we are joining, even in a very small way, to show that as part of the Commonwealth of Nations, we value the contribution that Queen Elizabeth II has made, and we hope will continue to make towards the development of our nations. Indeed, we must note that small island developing states like ours face grave challenges, but we are grateful that we, as part of this association of independent states, which seek to promote democracy, good governance, human rights, and economic development, that we can join in these celebrations.
The lighting of the beacon was the highlight of last evening's celebrations, as Dominica joined other countries in the Commonwealth to undertake such an activity. The ceremony also saw a marching display by cadets, crusaders, scouts, and guides. This year, the Queen will become only the second UK monarch to mark 60 years on the throne. A new system has been introduced to bus drivers who travel the Canefield, Maho, Fokole, and Goodwill routes. The Lago bus stop, which was once a major stop, has been discontinued, and all buses have been rerouted to the bus stop between the 2 bridges on the northern side of Roseau. Sergeant Alvin John of the Traffic Department of the Commonwealth of Dominica Police Force on Tuesday explained to GIS News the reasons why buses are no longer allowed to stop in Lago.
The bus stop in Lago, over the years, that's where all buses from Canefield, Maho, Massac, Goodwill, and so have been converging.
Right.
Now, that bus stop over the years has been adequate because of the number of buses. You had few buses at that time, but now you have a number of buses, which makes it very difficult for all those buses to stop and disembark their passengers. Sometimes you have buses parking in the center of the road to disembark passengers, creating a congestion and obstruction to other motorists. That's the reason for finding the other place to house them.
He told GIS News that the buses which would have used this bus stop now have to utilize the bus stop along the riverbank.
Buses coming from the Isilo Black Bridge can turn right into riverbank where the bus stand is situated.
Right.
Now they will exit at the end of riverbank, that is the intersection of riverbank and Great George Street.
Right.
Turn right and go to their destination.
Right.
Now we also have River Street. If a bus comes from the 7 Days Church, that is Riverside Apartment, and turn onto the New Link Bridge, they can turn down onto River Street and use River Street from Afajek's Bakery, that is Golden Loaf Bakery, up to the point of Great George Street and River Street, where they can drop off and pick up.
Okay.
But what you find is over the time, most of the buses or bus drivers has been converging on Riverbank. But you can also use River Street as a drop-off and pick-off area.
President of the Maho Bus Drivers Association, Warrell Seja, has welcomed the new initiative, but is concerned about the lack of space at the bus stop.
One of the things I realize is that we have all the buses converging on this small area.
Right.
Whereas if you could relocate some of the buses, for instance, you could relocate Goodwill to River Street, where you could get enough space for Goodwill. And then you would realign the bus stop in such a way that Maho, which carries the more greater number of buses, would get adequate space. Then you have Canefield, then you have Stock Farm, not Stock Farm, but Fokole.
The move has also served as a wake-up call for bus drivers who have been forced to make positive changes in their operations.
This thing came on us as a shock, but it caused us to do one thing, to organize ourselves. Because you'll understand that the way bus drivers used to dress and the way they operate on the bus stop, like we just blow our horns and push ourselves forward. This is a no-no. You come on the bus stop now and no horns are being blown and the buses turn one after the other. One of the things that I had to put in place on the executive was to put in place a turn system that the first 2 buses, if you are filled, or maybe up to the 3rd one, if you are filled, you could leave. But nothing be after. If you are filled, you have to wait your turn and then move, because we want equity in the business.
Seja is looking forward to the formation of a National Bus Drivers Association, which could facilitate the initiation of a number system for specific routes.
People coming will no longer have to ask for a Canefield bus or a Roger bus. They would maybe see a number 1 bus, like how it happens in the other islands. And then, you know, the 1 bus goes to Maho. The number 2 bus, you know, it goes to somewhere, St. Joseph or somewhere. So you won't have to come there and ask a question again. It will be already with education. The people would have known that.
The police will also seek to make things easier for commuters using the bus stop by installing proper signage at the stop.
I can assure you, if not tomorrow, by the weekend, you will find most of the signs will be in place to direct the bus drivers and to have them packed properly so that everything will go on all right.
Local police, in an effort to ensure that the new measures will be adhered to, will continue to patrol the bus stop and across the exit bridge, where many bus drivers continue to ignore the Keep Clear sign. We
are making it more vigorously to have police patrol in the bus stop and across the bridge from 7 up to 1700, 1800 hours. That would help the bus drivers to behave themselves in a orderly manner and so forth. And they too must cooperate with the police. I believe it would be better for them if they, you know, one after the other get filled and moved. They make more money and so forth.
Meanwhile, bus drivers traveling other routes may soon see changes at their bus stops. Sergeant John says this is part of efforts to reduce congestion at the existing stops.
Especially the Point Michel bus stop, this is a cause for concern. And we are looking to see where we can have them relocated. And so to the Grand Bay bus stop. But as you know, in town, around town is very limited as far as space is concerned. Well, we are looking, and we are also asking the public to make suggestions as to where they think, we can have the buses relocated. We don't work alone. We always like to include the public. We encourage their suggestion and whatever advice they have for us.
The Jubilee National Trail Management Unit, in collaboration with a number of environmental institutions, on Tuesday teamed up to educate primary school students from communities surrounding the Mount Tuapito National Park on how they can better appreciate their environment. The open day activity held at the Jubilee National Park Research and Interpretation Center in Pocasset was just one of several activities held in Dominica to observe World Environment Day on Tuesday, June 6th under the theme, Green Economy, Does It Include You? Trail Operations Officer at the Jubilee National Trail, Rosalind Paul, endorsed Tuesday's activity.
Today's activity is very important to continue the efforts of the government of Dominica and non-government organizations in the thrust towards environmental protection, natural resource management, and ecotourism, among others.
During Tuesday's open day activity, students were exposed to some of the projects funded under the Global Environmental Facilities Small Grants Program.
Bringing you here today in partnership with the Environmental Coordinating Unit and the Jubilee National Trail Management Team enables us to expose you to some of the richness in our environment and also to give you an experience with what is around you and what has been going on through the funds provided by the GEF Small Grants Program. So today we are going to have with us our partners, persons who have received funds from GEF Small Grants, the beekeepers, and people from the EcoBalance Biodiversity Learning and Training Center. We hope that through the sharing that will take place from these projects in particular, you will be able to go back to your schools, your homes, your communities, and influence others to apply to the GEF Small Grants Program to engage in activities that will enable you, your parents, and your neighbors and other people in your communities to participate in conserving and enhancing our environment.
Director of Forestry, Minchinton Burton, addressed the students on the negative impact that world development has had on the natural environment. Burton spoke of the importance of conserving Dominica's natural resources and environment for future generations.
Those of you here, you're young, 11 years, but in a few years' time you're going to be, very young people in society who are going to be leading this, this country. You have to be able to take into consideration the fact that you have to protect your environment. We at Forestry Division, the Forestry, Wildlife and Parks Division, as you know, is responsible for ensuring that as much as possible we protect our environment, the forests, and the flora and fauna, meaning the animals and the plants within our environment. And it's very important because if we do not do that, a lot of people, some of you probably go overseas and you see all these big buildings and you say, oh, why Dominica shouldn't have that? But it's because we have been able to conserve some of that. That is why we today can benefit from a lot of things such as ecotourism. A lot of people coming here now. We see the Jubilee National Trail. People want to come to Dominica to enjoy some of what we have.
Following the various speeches and presentations, the students were taken on an educational tour of biodiversity, wildlife, and forestry activities in the area. And that's the English segment of the news. We now join McPherson St. Luce for the Creole highlights.
Allô tout le monde, bienvenue à cette nouvelle en créole. Non, moi c'est McPherson St. Luce. Premièrement, ministre environ que we examiner la loi qui concerne environ. Parole cela sorti au ministre environ honorable Dr. Kenneth Darrow. Ministre Darrow fait parole cela si l'on qui a conduit le programme cela depuis ministre Nef Salah établi.
Mon montrer ça nous ça ministre a fait depuis inception ministre ça nous un process là pour upgrade loi environ. Nous avons fait premier pas, ça c'est garder pour toutes ces lois environ qui en livre Dominique. Ça nous a fait c'est actuellement pour voir comment nous ça moderniser parce que ça nous observe que c'est toutes ces lois ça tout partout, you see, mais tout partout, under the environmental health, under the forestry, fisheries. So nous avons comment nous mener under your group, umbrella group. Fisheries, no fisheries regulations. Un pipeline n'a qu'à venir. Ça c'est of course pour assurer que c'est passé génération ça tout celle qui image une génération qui a venir qui aussi qui voulait servir la meilleure qu'on manière pour vivre.
En d'autres nouvelles, le ministre de l'Agriculture a avisé les gens qui ont profité de l'autre pays et puis ils voulaient mener plan autre. Ils ont supposé contacter le ministre de l'Agriculture avant de faire ça. Parole cela sorti officier quarantine Ryan Anselm comme ministre de l'Agriculture qui a adressé mauvais virus qui a affecté l'industrie citrus en pays.
Les gens qui ont allé dans l'autre pays, nous parlons de mener pièces bagaille montrer sans permission plan quarantine. So sous les mener pièces plan montrer on va parler avec nous ka baou comment on ça mener et si bagaille là ça venir nous que de mener. So ou ka taper tout monde qui ka aller l'autre pays et yo les mener bagaille montrer Dominique. Ça c'est comment c'est maladie à venir. Ou ka mener on bite qui malade ou quand même Dominique, c'est ça le problème là, mal tête là, c'est nous qui pour gommer contre ça là. So encore, nous le dit c'est femmes là, toi avec nous, pour nous garder comment nous aller gommer contre maladie ça là.
Trust National White Jubilee en collaboration et puis Jeff et Environmental Coordinating Unit, chain activité jeudi en observance journée environ mondiale. Il y a une activité pour place en l'occasion pour casser. Au l'année, 10 l'école Guad 6, l'école environ pour casser, participer en diverses activités. Ils ont participé en tour éducation, compétition quiz et puis un forum où là étudier montrer talent à eux en différents aspects. Sinon, officier Trust National White Jubilee Roselyne Paul. Avant de cela, c'était pour promouvoir Trust là et puis programme Jeff en Dominique qui a concerné Green Economy. Il a aussi tapé l'opportunité pour promouvoir Trust National White Jubilee. Et puis, finalement, le ministre de la Santé a fait parole qu'il a acheté un remède pour traiter les gens qui ont souffert et puis maladie glaucoma, mais il n'a pas fait un profit. Glaucoma, c'est une maladie qui a affecté le monde en pays. Parole cela qui a sorti hors Dr. Z à l'hôpital Princess Margaret, Dr. Hazel Shillingford Ricketts.
Vous pouvez acheter remède là, et vous pouvez vendre pour moun, mais vous ne pouvez pas faire pièce profit. Et ces traitements ça là, vous payez ba yo, c'est vous pouvez 50% moins cher qui ça là aller côté ces pharmacies là à private sector là. So ça peut aider moun, mais c'est pas tout le monde qui a aidé.
Messieurs, mesdames, ça c'est tout pour nouvelles en créole pour à présent. Non moins, c'est McPherson St. Luce. Au revoir.
When we come back, we'll bring you the upcoming events and government notices. Please stay tuned.
Do you have uncovered water storage drums around your home? Do you dispose of old tires, cans, and old containers capable of holding water anywhere in your environment? Are you being bitten by mosquitoes, particularly at dusk and early morning? Do you keep houseplants in water? Do you spend your hard-earned cash to control mosquitoes? Has your community experienced dengue fever outbreaks? If your answer is yes to at least 3 questions above, you are at risk to dengue fever. Join the fight against dengue fever. The responsibility for a dengue-free Dominica lies with you. So, get rid of the Aedes aegypti mosquito.
Stakeholders, visitors, clients, and the general public are informed that they can contact the White Jubilee Trail Management Unit at Port Cartier via telephone number 440-6125 or email wntp@cwdom.dm. The Trail Management Unit apologizes for any inconvenience caused during their relocation to Port Cartier and resulting communication gaps. Trail users and organizers of hikes, both locals and visitors, are asked to register with the Trail Management Unit or Forestry Division. This also includes organized groups, informal groups, and hiking clubs. Tour operators and event planners are also asked to register. This is important for providing guidance and information to users and for security purposes. For more information, please contact 440-6125 or email wntp@cwdom.dm. The general public is hereby notified that the names of persons considered deserving of an honor for meritorious service to the state of Dominica shall be submitted to the Cabinet Secretary no later than 30th June 2012. Recommendations should be forwarded under confidential cover to Secretary to the Cabinet, Cabinet Secretariat Office of the Prime Minister, Financial Center, Kennedy Avenue, Roseau, or email to allportg@dominica.gov.dm. All concerned are asked to note the following hurricane shelters and shelter managers for the communities of Gommier, Portsmouth, and Capuchin. Gommier, your hurricane shelter, is the lower floor of the burial church. The shelter manager is John Sylvain and assistant manager Leroy James. Portsmouth, your hurricane shelter is the Portsmouth Secondary School and your shelter manager is Cornelius Hunter. Capuchin, your hurricane shelter is the Capuchin Resource Center. The shelter manager is Emmanuel Auguste and the assistant manager is George Andra. Members of the public are asked to take note of the following numbers which could prove useful during the hurricane season. The Office of Disaster Management, GIS Dominica, telephone number 448-8831 or 448-7777. Website www.odm.gov.dm. Email odm@dominica.gov.dm. The Dominica Met Service, Caneville Airport, Dominica, telephone number 449-1990, fax number 449-2020, or email metoffcan@cwdom.dm. Dominica Met Service, Melville Hall Airport, Dominica, telephone number 445-7878, fax 445-7849, or email metoffmar@cwdom.dm or metoffice@cwdom.dm. The weather hotline is 447-5555 or visit their website www.weather.gov.dm for updated weather reports. Up next is the tip of the day. Our tip today deals with gratitude. Practice gratitude with all your might. Go out of your way to say thank you. Even if someone seems obnoxious, there must be something for which you can express gratitude. And that's National Focus. As usual, we invite your suggestions or comments. Please feel free to drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm, or you can visit our website at news.gov.dm, or you could visit our GIS Dominica page on YouTube and Facebook. On behalf of the entire news production team, I'm Jarna Hector. Thanks for watching.
Just thinking about tomorrow, clear away the cobwebs and the sorrow, till there's none. When I'm stuck in the day that's gray and lonely, I just think of my chin and grin and say, the sun will come out.
You're watching GIS. Dominica is blessed with an abundance of water, but getting it to your home is an expensive venture. You have a responsibility to conserve water, to use it wisely. Remember the old adage, you never miss the water till the well runs dry. Think water, think life. DOASCO recognizes that clean water is vital to healthy living. Therefore, it spares no effort in providing a clean, safe, and reliable system. Help keep our rivers safe and clean. Do not cut trees along the riverbanks, and do not pollute with garbage, human or animal feces, and chemicals. Think water, think life.
Let your spirit take to flight. Let your heart run free and wild. Find your soul in Dominica, the nature isle.
Hey, I'm calling out to all Dominicans to embrace our culture. Not just once or twice a year, but all year round. We have a rich and unique culture that no one can equal to. Our bouillon music, our vibrant dances, our Creole language, and exquisite cuisine. It's all ours. Taste it, speak it, hear it, touch it, feel it, share it, live it. I am Sheldon Alfred, the Junior Calypso Monarch 2011, and I am Dominica. Are you?